Welcome to another weekend of music. This is a return to Santana. Well, my exposure to Santana, I guess, is Black Magic Woman. I almost said Black Sabbath Woman. This song was written by Carlos Santana after he witnessed a jazz saxophonist playing in the street outside his apartment. In 2008, Santana told Mojo that Samba Pa Ti was the first song he felt he could call his own. Well, this sounds interesting, and actually, on my iPad here, I see no lyrics, so I assume this is an instrumental? Anyway, let's find out. Ooh, it has a bit of a saxophone vibe to it. I don't know if that's actually drums, pitched drums, or if it's another instrument. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. But it feels like it's part of the drums set. Just put it that way. And if it's not, if it's some other instrument, then wow, what an incredible blend of instruments there. Regardless, I like it. I like the way this improvised melody is given room to breathe. Okay, whatever they did to that organ, that's wild. It's so ragged. Okay, so I love the way the guitar is so beautifully evoking the expressive qualities of the saxophone and the tone texture of it. It feels like I could be listening to saxophone itself. And then when that organ came in, it feels like, well, I don't know what they've done to it to make it so incredibly ragged. It's like they just took a piece of cloth and ripped it, and you feel all the frayed edges and everything. But it fits perfectly. Shifting the rhythm and the texture a bit. I do think those are drums. Yeah, I do think they're drums. I I like the way the bass interacts with the rhythm. So with a name like Samba Pa Ti, I am not at all surprised that this has a sort of an African quality to it. But it's more than just that. It feels like this sort of fusion of African and Latin and even American blues, probably because of the saxophone influence there. But it feels effortless. It feels like it's completely organic. It's not trying to be something or mix these influences. It just happens to come out that way. And so it feels like it's a very coherent, cohesive, and it has its own voice. So it doesn't feel like it's just imitating something for the sake of imitation or something like that. But I love this feel of definitely more, I don't know if I could say more African. It's such a smooth blend. I like that. And then it fades off into the distance. It's so colorful and so warm in its shall I say, I guess I would say it has a very warm character. Maybe a little bit, I don't know if I'd quite say mellow, but warm for sure. And well, let's go back and listen to a little bit, because as I was listening to the end, I was realizing this ending section is really just a couple chords, right? It's so it's an A minor, to G, and everything was just built off of this it was just growing out of these two chords. And I think there were more chords earlier on. I wasn't really focused on the harmonic progression, but so I want to just hear a little bit at the beginning. And then we're back to G. And as it progresses, I can't at all say that it's built off of an 8-bar blues pattern, which is, if it were really strictly blues, that would be a very likely pattern or some variant of it. This is different. It's a longer sequence. That's why I say it feels like this fusion of blues and African music. It's the drums, it's the rhythms coming in there that give it that sort of African feel to me. And it's the improvisatory blues-like melodic feel and tone quality, which makes me think towards blues. And then there's this other texture blend. Perhaps it's the layers of texture and tone that make me also think of Latin style music. And so it feels like this fusion of all of these elements. But the chord progression itself is one of the things that makes it have this, as I said, very warm quality, because we're set in the key of G major. That is our home chord. But as I'm listening to the chord progressions, we really tend towards hearing a lot of the minor chords belonging to that major key. For example, at the beginning, that's G, already a B minor, E minor, A minor, back to G, B minor again, E minor, A minor. Okay, now there's a D. Back to A minor, back to D. A minor again, B minor again, A minor again, D, back to G. And then it cycles, I think it probably cycles through G, B minor, E minor, A minor, which is one of the chord sequences. Isn't it interesting, as I'm saying these chords out loud, isn't it interesting to notice how many of them are minor? G, okay, that's major, but then B minor, E minor, A minor, then a G again, and then the same cycle repeats, so it would be another B minor, E minor, A minor. We have one major chord, the G, and then 3 minor chords. It's one of the things that I think gives it this incredibly warm embrace. Not mournful, not and the underlying accompaniment is not really complex, meaning we don't have a lot of 7s and 6s and added notes to those chords. That happens in the melody. The melody is where all those bluesy bent notes and added stuff comes in on top of the primary harmonic sequence triads. Let's see. And because the harmonic sequence fits so nicely under the fingers on the harp, it's tempting to me to try to figure out something that would blend with this music. Well, I don't have a particular image in my mind, but let's just, since I'm here and we can do this, let's try it. I feel like we need something a little bit more sultry. Let's try this again. It's interesting as I'm trying to make the harp conform to this kind of musical atmosphere. It's interesting to notice the difference between a few little patterns. For instance, if I go, it sounds too straight, but if I take this same note and make it drop down rather than up on that repeat, it helps it warm up a little bit. It would be fun. Maybe I will sit down and just explore and figure out how to create a sort of accompaniment harp pattern that might blend with this. But I think that's one of the things, as I'm sitting and trying it out, it feels more like a Latin rhythm that would suit this than perhaps some of the other more standard rhythms. And that's probably where my feeling of it's a bit of Latin quality coming in as well. That was a fun first listen experience. My first time hearing Santana's Samba Pa Ti, and I'm thinking again of what he said, how he felt like it was the first piece of music that he really owned, that really was his own voice. And what a satisfying feeling to feel like you finally found your voice and you have your musical expression, and to think it was all inspired by a saxophone in the street. Tomorrow I'll see you again with another Santana piece, which at the moment I don't know. I'll see you then.